Hello everyone. Oh, gotta spritz myself. Okay, so I've just come back from the council meeting, the meeting with the council that I had. And there's something that I need to tell you all. There's something that I need to get off my chest. Now, there's a particular incident that happened back in December of last year that I explained was caused by weaponized frequencies. They have a cell tower like a couple of minutes away from me, which explains a lot. There was an incident that took place in December of last year because of weaponized frequencies that were used to ultimately affect not only my behavior, but the behavior of my neighbors, so that a serious situation could happen to discredit me, because I was supposed to be speaking on behalf of Pauline Chung or being a witness to one of her appointments. And because she has such incredibly serious allegations that she's made that have not been disproven at all, because of those things, that's what led to a setup essentially in December of 2025 that could have led to a really serious and even dangerous situation. And as I was sitting there meeting with the advisor from the council, the housing advisor, they asked me a question as to whether or not I had done anything destructive. And I said, yes, I have. And not only did I tell them the destructive thing that happened, I told them the backstory. I told them that essentially it was a setup and that there was behavioral control technology used both on myself and the person that I had interviewed on YouTube. So I was honest. I was completely honest about what I did, about how my behavior was affected, because this is not something this is not the type of shit that I do. Like, if you look back at my social media, that's not the type of shit that I do. I don't do that type of shit. Everybody knows that. I've lived on this planet for 40 years and I ain't never done some shit like that, right? Not ever. And certainly not on purpose. If there were anything, yeah, I'm not going to go into detail. But everybody knows, if you go back through my social media and you look up December, what happened in December? I've never done some shit like that in my 40 years of life. That was a setup. And not only did I tell the council what happened in December of 2025, I also told them what was behind it was that it was a setup to try to discredit me over being a witness for Pauline Chung during a mental health meeting. That's what it goes back to. Now, why would they go that far? The reason being is that I recently did an interview with her where me and her, well, it wasn't recently, it was last year, where I sat down with her and we talked about, what did we talk about? Oh, okay, I sat down with her and we talked about her experiences as a targeted individual. And unfortunately, some really harrowing information came up, like child trafficking and child sexual assault. So during that video, there were really serious allegations made. When it comes to her mental health appointments, I was witness to one of her mental health appointments. There was obviously something dodgy going on. And the second meeting, that's the time of December. The second meeting, not only was she coerced into not having me there as a witness, into not having me over FaceTime as a witness, she was coerced into not having me there. Also, a few days after that, that's when the incident in December happened, because the weaponized frequencies that usually cause anger, anxiety, frustration, them motherfuckers must have been cranked up all the way to 11, because my anger, for the first time in my life, my anger was uncontrollable. My neighbor's anger was uncontrollable. This was for the first time in my life, and I'm sure in their lives too. Just the most uncontrollable, wild ass anger, right? And the incident in December happened. Again, it's on my social media. Now, I sat down with the council, and not only did I tell them again about that incident, I told them the backstory. And at first, I felt awful. I felt awful telling these people, because everything that I told them on that form, right? Like, that will definitely go against me when I'm trying to look for another place. It will limit my options drastically. And it should, because nobody wants a person who's potentially, potentially not safe to be living at their place. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants somebody like that at their address. So at first, like the inside of myself, I kind of felt like stone. I kind of felt numb. I felt numb because I realized what I'd done. I realized what I cost myself by telling the truth. And even though that housing advisor could look up on my YouTube, see the interview, see the evidence of what I'd done because I posted it myself, they can see all that, right? But still, it would limit my options. It's there in black and white. I confess to it. I admitted to it. It's there in black and white. So I felt numb inside. I felt really, really numb inside. And then when I came out, there was some stupid street theater, like trying to allude to me tripping myself up. I didn't really care. I knew what was going on and I didn't care. It was just like, I knew I'd done the right thing. It didn't feel good, but I knew it was the right thing to do. I knew the right thing to do was telling the truth. One of the reasons why I knew I did the right thing was because, first off, hold on a minute, let me try to remember. Because first off, the whole reason why I was trying to speed the whole move ahead and try to have everything done as smoothly as possible was because I wanted people to be safe. I did not want the gang stalkers to try to set me up again to have another situation happening to cover up for child trafficking and child rapists. I'm not fucking having it. I'm not having them try to set me up to cover their bullshit and potentially make life even more difficult for other people. I'm not having that. So yeah, I moved out. Yes, I demanded that Section 21. I demanded that accelerated possession order. I demanded that fucking barrister's order too. Not barrister's order, that fucking bailiff's order as well. I demanded that shit. Why? Because a very dangerous setup happened as a result of people trafficking children, raping children, and using mental health services to cover up people who are witnesses to it, as well as weaponized frequencies, which the cell towers can be used for, by the way. So I knew, I was like, no, I knew what I did was the right thing. I didn't feel good about it. I felt, like I said, I felt numb inside. I didn't feel good about it. But then something happened. The closer I got to this flat, I started smiling involuntarily. For the first time in God knows how long that I've been in this place, I was smiling on the way back to this place. And I'm thinking, why? Why do I feel good about this now? Like, what's going on? Then it hit me. Really think, my fellow TIs, as to what has been going on with these, multiple big accounts that have come out about gang stalking. What are they trying to do? Think about the principle of the ultra beam technology. They replicate your brainwave and then they introduce a new brainwave so that it affects your behavior. That's basically what they've done with gang stalking. They've taken our talking points have been taken, our concerns have been taken, our knowledge of technology has been taken. And what will happen from there is that a lot of controlled opposition who are on the side of the gang stalkers, what they will do is they will take the same information that we've been saying and they will try and change it and shift it into something else, or they will play with social dynamics to render the most important victims irrelevant. So that's what the people behind gang stalking have been doing. They have been trying to render victims irrelevant, because giving us a bad reputation, it doesn't work. They have to make us irrelevant. If they're really going to bury us, they have to make us irrelevant. But here's the catch now. In order to make us irrelevant, if they're going to set us up and try to cause us to commit crimes, they have to cover our mistakes up. I don't have to cover it up. I don't have to cover it up. I can put evidence of what I've done all over social media. I don't have to cover up anything that I've done or anything that I was set up to do. I do not have to cover it up. But the people who are gang stalking me do have to cover it up. That's what hit me. Why do you think my landlords never said anything to the council about what I did, and yet I was the one to say it? Why do you think everybody here has been keeping their mouths shut about this situation? Because they know that behind that fucking act that happened in December is a whole setup covering up for trafficking, covering up for murder, covering up for widespread nationwide corruption that has already resulted in the deaths of innocent people, and child rape and child trafficking. Behind my biggest error, my biggest mistake, my biggest regret is a whole host of dirty secrets that everybody else around here have been trying to cover up. That's when it hit me. That's what hit me. Because I don't have to fucking lie. Why? Because a bad reputation is better than being irrelevant. The gang stalkers know this. A bad reputation, a reputation of me being a crazy, violent N-word, being a physical representation of stop the boats, that is a way better outcome for me than being irrelevant. Irrelevance is a targeted individual's worst. It is the worst thing you can be. I'm telling you, this is, when I was younger, I used to say, oh, don't be so scared of what people think. Don't try to protect your reputation. This is why. This is why. If they're going to fucking torpedo your reputation, use it. Start from scratch. Because the last thing you want these people to do is make you irrelevant. Because if they make you irrelevant, they keep trafficking going. They keep murder going. They keep rape going. They keep all this shit going. The second they make you irrelevant, rather than a villain, innocent people die and innocent people get hurt. That's another realization that I had. And in the midst of these gang stalkers trying to perform street theatre, trying to call me dumb and all the rest of it, me and my sleep-deprived ass still outsmarted you. Oh, baby, you will never outthink me. Not a day in your fucking life. Ever. And once again, the evidence is all over social media. Who was the one trying to prevent any more people being endangered? Me. Who was the one who told the truth about everything that's going on? Me. Who was the one that was as transparent as fuck while everybody else was making taunts, throwing rocks and hiding their hands? Me. Who was the one that from the very start understood everything that was going on behind the scenes? And on me. Me, bitch. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. The thing is, the bad reputation thing, it serves a function in diminishing you emotionally. That's the purpose that it serves. If you are neurodivergent and you have rejection sensitivity dysphoria and you have all these people weaponizing everything about you to make you feel small, all of that is to throw you off center. That's what a bad reputation does. That's what enemies do. They try to throw you off your center, keep you off balance. But hear what, right? You have a bad reputation. Look at Aaron Alexis and Myra May. They had bad reputations. Look now. Look now. If they're like, I can't condone what they did, but they're not irrelevant. And because they're not irrelevant, people are still talking about their story now. This is exactly what I'm saying to you. People are still talking about their story now. Beyond the targeted community, beyond that, people are still talking about their story now. I ain't got a fucking thing to worry about. Not a goddamn thing because of this. Baby, I came back smiling when I read, like, the full weight of this hit me. I was giggling. I was giggling because I knew the biggest regret that I ever had would be the smoking gun that ends this shit. It will be the biggest weapon I will ever have against murderers, traffickers, and fucking rapists. Will be my own mistakes. Will be the life that I never wanted. That will be my greatest weapon against these people. Homelessness, death, sectioning, my greatest weapons. Isolation, my greatest weapon. All of it. Vulnerability, my greatest weapon. The greatest weapons that they use against all other TIs are going to be mine. These people did not know who the fuck they were dealing with, and they still don't. Imagine being outsmarted and thinking that you're the smartest person in that. Like, that could never be me, bitch. Ever. Ever. All people would have to do is judge me by my actions. And it's a wrap. You know, that's why it's like you got to play the long game sometimes. You got to play the long game sometimes. Like, this is why, like, I told the truth. And now I'm starting to realize that's the best thing I ever did. Got me all kinds of flack, but now the world's burning. And I'm just sitting over here like this. In fact, I might go down to those protests on the 8th of July. Might go down to them protests. See how many gang stalkers I can spot on both sides. Pigeons meet cat. People have no idea how deep this shit goes. And now, Brighton and Hove Council have it on record. On record. And if they ever edit out any information, there is a whole social media with evidence of everything that I'm saying. And not only do I have YouTube backing me up, there's a certain person who is online, one of my online trolls, one of my long-standing online trolls on standby, downloading all my fucking videos. Because they're a troll and they need something to use against me. There is a troll on standby, downloading all my videos right the fuck now. I guarantee it. Why? To give me a bad reputation. Because a bad reputation piques curiosity. That's how it starts. But if they keep secret all the horrible things you know, all the horrible things that I've ever done and said, and, you know, my biggest regret, if they cover all that up, they're not just keeping the peace, they're not just keeping me safe, they're keeping me irrelevant. Keeping me irrelevant. While they continue their street theatre, while they continue to have neighbours trying to bait me every fucking day. Keeping me irrelevant, while racist ass people congregate together to break into my house and fucking commiserate each other over their bullshit. They want to keep me safe and irrelevant, because if I'm safe and irrelevant, then other people's harassment doesn't matter. Other people's harassment, it just looks like a normal neighbor dispute. My fellow targeted individuals, irrelevance, do not be fooled. Irrelevance is your greatest enemy. Do not fight to be irrelevant. Don't fight to be normal. They've taken that away from you. Lean in. Just make sure you protect yourselves. Lean the fuck in. Do not allow yourself to be cowed. But you do have to protect yourselves. That's one thing that I will say to you guys. You do need to protect yourselves. Because the way gang stalkers like to take revenge, they go for maximum humiliation all the time. And that includes putting you through as much pain as possible, you know, to make you break down in front of them. They get off on that shit. So the revenge will be swift, but don't be afraid of your bad reputation. I'm telling you right now, take it from somebody who knows. Take it from somebody who's lived it. Do not let a bad reputation stop you. Use it to your advantage. Because if people say you're crazy, people say you're all this, that, and the third, you're crazy, none of this is real, then they would have no problem with you talking, right? If you're diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, then what's a cover-up for? They should have no problem talking about it. They should have no problem with you bringing it up. Use it. So yeah, went down to the council meeting today. I put myself at risk, greater risk of homelessness, because I confessed to an incident in December that was caused by a cover-up, essentially a cover-up for child rape and child trafficking. Essentially what it boils down to. I told the council that, and again, at first I really regretted it, but now the weight of what I've done is really hitting me. I realized my greatest weapon against really evil, horrible people is people's hatred of me. That's my greatest weapon. People's hatred of me. That's my greatest weapon. Among other things. So, yeah, I gotta go. I don't know when I'll be back. But yeah, yeah. This was Marsha the Great. And I will see you another time, I guess. Bye-bye now.